Yeah, it was good, Sicko. How's it going? Just give me a moment. Today was definitely a long day. And a mango margarita and a little bit of that, whatever lemon thing I had of like Jose Cuervo. It's catching up. It's catching up. Thankfully, I didn't drink enough in order to be able to drive home safely with the rest of the fam, but yeah. The aftermath of alcohol is always exhaustion. So I'm gonna do whatever I can in order to just, I won't say power on through, but have just enough wherewithal to just even cook with whatever I have in mind. It might be hodgepodge, it might be a meal, but I don't know where it's gonna take me. I don't know where it's gonna take me, but if I believe hard enough, I think I may actually nail it. Because I do have some ideas in the back of my head as far as where to kind of go with the idea. But whether I have the means to just stick the landing is going to be a very different case. It's going to be a very, very different case. All right. Well, I do have some backdrop. This is just probably gonna be like a scratch idea of a special kind of stream called How Would I? It's just gonna be like a series of like writers workshop stuff to see how would I go about doing this kind of thing, or making X come to reality, or Y become a concept. It's just all concept building. It's just all concept building. Whether I do a good job on that or not, it's really just up to the cards. And if I'm rolling aces, I'm gonna be rolling aces. If I'm just gonna be, if I just have a bad hand, then so be it. But if anything, it might even compel people to come up with ideas of their own. With something that could probably stand out a lot more than what I have dredged up as like a concept. So let us do a bit of set dressing at least. We could do a bit of set dressing in order to give us a bit of room to work with. Okay, so we can center him. I'm just gonna really figure out a structure. It's just really come up with a structure in order to make it work. So let's think. Make them smaller. Make a title. And let's also do a bit more. See where we can kind of make things a bit more presentable. Okay, objective. Incorporate as many elements of Doomguy that would make sense in this fighting game environment. Everything from weapons to functions that we utilize in the games it comes from our fair game approach. So that means we are to state within the rules of this particular version of Doomguy. We can't just say, hey, we can just change these things out. Granted, we can just kind of tweak it. Like, what I have in mind for the glory kills might be something to really consider. It might be something to just maybe put a bit of extra thought into, because I have a feeling that my approach to him may resemble something from like a Blaze Blue character or whatnot. Okay. So, how are we gonna do it? The base. Just like any meal, we're gonna have a base. We need to figure out what would be the best source to pull from. And we have something that could be right in front of us. HP? We're not gonna get to the finer, we're not gonna get to the details of that. HP values are gonna be a bit of a finicky thing, but I know for someone like him, he's gonna have low health. But it balances out with the kind of gimmick that the Praetor suit provides. So he's gonna be a bit squishy, but at the same time, he's gonna have enough resources to kind of get the health back. and also kind of reinforces so he takes less damage in return. But I'm don't want to go too far ahead as far as the discussion goes. Okay, Doom Eternal has the most definitive loadout so far because the next game is going to be around the corner, and he's probably going to have a he's going to have somewhat of a different kit. Somewhat. Now we're also going to pull up his wiki at 2. Actually, he is referred to as Doomslayer. Yeah. Doomgoo. Wait, let me... Let me... Man, looking at his abilities, it's just insane. Yeah, it is. Be able to like hold that, lift a shit ton punch. fuck ton and just. The man is more than a veritable tank. He is, honest to goodness, a monster. you can't fuck with him. You just can't. Okay, so we're gonna have to go somewhat by memory as far as like his weapons are concerned, because the wiki is not really giving me much. Not because I'm looking at a fucking fandom. Yep, just doing a little bit of quick research. And now I think I have a good idea. Though I have a feeling that I might not even include the Unmaker at that point either. I may not. Because, well, I'll see what happens at that point. My base iteration. Alright, let's make another. Now, the thing that really does come to mind is he has a lot of weapons. Lots and lots of weapons to use. But I guess the best way I can kind of approach him might be Chris Redfield. And I'm gonna be going back and forth to this particular section too. Because it's probably gonna make a whole lot more sense as far as how to kind of approach it. Especially with characters that are known to use a lot of weapons at their disposal. There might be something I can do in order to make it work. Something. Okay. So we're gonna bring it this far. We're gonna do classic bullets. Super shotgun is gonna be very important. Plasma rifle. Okay, combat shotgun, super shotgun, plasma rifle. And combat shotgun, super shotgun, plasma rifle, heavy autocannon, ballista, chain gun, rocket launcher, BFG 9000. This is also going to be important, especially considering the different methods. So flame belch, ice grenade, frag grenade. This is also going to be important. Crucible weapons. Let me also loop this too. because once I start getting to the finer details, it's gonna get very technical. Fighting game sense. Armor generation. Attributed by flame belch, so that kind of gives us a bit of extra leeway to explain and how to kind of like factor that in. So, health regeneration, armor generation, yep, health regen, armor generation, blood punch. Double dash is self-explanatory. Or I'll say double mobility. So he has 2 air dashes and 2 jumps. Yep, double mobility, air dashes, and jumps, so he's gonna be pretty mobile, which also kind of makes sense for him to be kind of a squishy character too. But I feel as though there may be some way to make amends for that. I feel like there's a way in order to make amends for that. Uh-oh. I may have to actually get that plugin for OBS to actually restream properly, because restream is starting to like crap itself out. How much I could do there? Alright, grants health and armor. If enemies on fire. Oh yeah, how could I forget about one of the main weapons too? The chainsaw. But the problem is, there are a lot of weapons that could... There are just a lot of weapons. Which is why I have come up with a nice little contingency plan for that. A nice little contingency plan for all of these weapons. And to make the chainsaw actually worth it, because think about it. What does the chainsaw do in the 2016 Doom games? They give you ammo, right? So, So, yes. Okay. So, I think I got an idea. Because realistically, and I'm probably gonna have to make a whole section for balancing too. But realistically, stuff like the shotguns, the heavy autocannon, the chain gun, the ballista and the plasma rifle, both those weapons have shared ammo pools. Both of them have shared ammo pools. And I want to make it so that Doom Guy has to get in. He can't play keep away. He has the ability to do so, but why would you? The reason why I say the ability to do keep away is mostly because of the ballista and maybe the chain gun to some degree. But you're gonna be burning through so much ammo anyway, you're just gonna be looking like a damn fool in the process. So I gotta think about like the base amount of ammo for each pool, essentially. And if I can find like the base level if I could just find the base level of ammo necessary in order to do so, you can probably make something work of it. Okay, so chainsaw, shotguns, plasma rifle. Let me actually move this up so it's a bit easier to organize. And the rocket launcher being on its own is also nice too, considering that it's just its own thing. It's always been its own thing. So health regen, armor generation, blood punch, double mobility, glory kills. Yeah, I think we got something going. Actually, no. Chris doesn't have limited ammo. But can't be revolving our life steal. Okay, broken blood edge. Gameplay revolving around life steal and close range fighting has a small health pool to warrant risky investments of utilities to justify life steal attacks. Okay, most dangerous at low health due to blockade, overdrive, granting access to higher return on life steal. enhanced versions of special moves. Grappling ability and grappling ability and utilizing wall bounding moveset to keep opponents within range of play. He only has like, no, he does have a command grab. Has access to Okay. So we have some building blocks here. Now to think. Now to think of exactly where to go with it. Gameplay and game plan. Or rather, let me put that around. Slayer's main objective is to apply, you know, just to kind of differentiate, even though, okay, Doomslayer's main objective is to apply as much pressure onto the opponent. Okay, Doomslayer's main objective is to apply as much pressure onto the opponent as possible while maintaining a close distance, a healthy resource pool, and okay, Doomslayer's main objective is to apply as much pressure onto the opponent as possible while maintaining a close distance, a healthy resource pool, and utilizing as much of their weapons as possible to achieve when possible, maintain close distance, healthy resource pool, and utilizing as much of their weapons and mobility to overwhelm. Depending on what, like, realistically, in any kind of crossover situation, you're most likely going to be looking at HP. If it's like a full-on fighting game, then chances are there might be something like defense ratings in order to make sure that the character is kind of in tune with the balancing. That way, it kind of makes sense. Like a character that has a lot of mobility, especially characters like Hazama, or maybe even who's another character that has like a lot of mobility but should have low health. But most of those characters realistically should have low health because it's their punishment. Yeah, maybe Chip might be also a good example too, as far as like being heavily oppressive, but if they get touched, they die. They need to keep moving around. They need to be almost ambiguous. Oh, I almost forgot to do this too. The benchmark. Okay, so next section would be the incorporation. Which is where we start moving the loadout onto an actual move set, seeing how we can actually make that work or not. Okay, so let's get these out of the way first. Yep, so once his counterpart does not do damage. However, Flame Belt, similar to his counterpart, does not do damage, however opens up the enemy to be siphoned of not only health but armor as well when followed up with a glory attack. Yep. Can apply flame to grounded characters that are suffering from a hard knockdown, a long time to recover from. Can apply the flame to grounded characters that are suffering from a hard knockdown, a long time to recover. Advanced tactics will likely involve. Advanced tactics will likely involve using flame belts as one occurs in their animation. Okay, let me also make this like another section, another heading 2. Run this opponent temporarily stun. No, actually. Either being attacked or left alone. Okay, so we're starting off with the equipment launcher. Excuse me. basically going in the ones where I have the little asterisks marked here too. There's importance. And I might as well put double asterisks on the glory kills, because that's going to be a very important one to kind of keep in mind too. Because in a fighting game, you don't exactly, well, except for Mortal Kombat, you don't exactly kill someone with like very brutal grabs or such things like that. But you can incorporate it in such a way where the properties are still the same and still have some sort of relevance. Still maintains the same kind of function, even though the extreme isn't happening. So let me put this into perspective once we get to that point. Okay, next. Now I think because he has so much mobility, there has to be some sort of amends to be made here. It'll probably be awkward to use such things like the grenades in the air, even though you can use it in the air properly. But in a fighting game sense, you want to have at least a bit of a limit as far as like how many air okay moves you can throw in. Yeah, let's think about it a little bit further the more we go. Because you realistically want to have enough for the equipment launcher to have some follow-ups. Flame bell should probably be light strength. Ice grenade maybe medium. Frag grenade maybe medium, maybe heavy and special. Heavy being close range, special being far range. Okay, next will be the chainsaw. Yeah, chainsaw. Or no, actually. Hmm. The main weapon of use. Hmm. The meat hook. Hmm. Now I gotta think. Main weapon of use by Doom Slayer, meat hook mechanical play a pivotal role in allowing for strong offense even when out of ammo. Hmm. No, this actually might be a tough one too. Considering the fact you want to have a nice little balance between being able to use it outside the shotgun and with the shotgun. No. In a way, I do have to treat it like Spencer's bionic arm. No, it's not unblockable. Hmm. Oh, the hook is unblockable. Effective range of the vehicle will be full screen. Melody. Okay, Super Shotgun, main weapon infused by the Doom Slayer. Duke mechanical play a pivotal role in allowing for strong offense even when out of ammo. Me hook will have homing properties to latch onto the opponent in neutral, however the hook is not unblockable. In turn, it can be followed up with the Super Shotgun if the opponent is not prepared or messes up their defensive. Effective range, the me hook will be full screen, allowing for freedom of approach, but you can only move towards your opponent. Allow me to break this up a little bit more so it's easier to kind of like keep in mind. Make have home properties, options, da. Make this cooldown does not start until cooldown does not start until the hook is either This will be important. Okay, next. The sword. No, actually, let me make this important note here. And it will come back up once I start getting to like the balancing aspect too. Alright. But the thing about Doomslayer is that he realistically would be front-loaded with so many mechanics. He would be front-loaded with so many mechanics that would probably be so dizzying. Yep, Doomslayer. I'm trying to like figure out how to kind of fit him into like a fighting game sense. So it's a bit of an undertaking on its own, right? We always gotta make the return for the glory attacks to be worth it. Crucible sword. It would be kind of fucked up if it was like a unblockable. But it should hurt like hell. So I'm gonna feel like the fighting style will be similar to Samus. I think the thing with when it comes to like Samus, her array of weapons, I feel like there could be more. Like she does have access to super missile, power bomb, such stuff like that too. But I feel as though, I don't know. The thing about Doomslayer is that he relies on being up close and personal. Whereas Samus, I feel like she prefers to be at a distance until a certain amount of damage is dealt to the opponent. So it gives a reason for her to kind of keep away as far as maintain the game plan. But I feel when it comes to Doomslayer, you have to get in that ass. You have to be really brutal. Yeah, I mean, essentially this is just an exercise for me to just kind of like come up with ideas to make it make sense. Once I have like all the stuff really lined up, I think I can kind of make it work. Keyword is I think, because I'm not entirely sure. But let's see. Crucible Sword. Or a text RPG Reddit, but usually want to do is 1 melee, 2 range, and 1 special. Because in the back of my mind, I do already have an idea of what to do with like the other weapons in his arsenal. Because it's just going to be outlandishly ridiculous to try and shoehorn as much as I can as far as like primary fire goes. But maybe, well, let me not ruin, let me not get off track, but I do have a very particular approach, and I'm guessing those that have played Doom Eternal or any of the Doom 2016 games in general might know where I'm coming from with this. They might know where I'm going with the idea I have in mind. What game is for anyway? It's just in general concept. But I guess if we're talking about like 4-button fighters, maybe I mean, if anything, it's just whatever kind of 4-button or 5-button fighter that allows this kind of thing to happen. I feel like it's gonna click somewhere, but something that's gonna be very technical on top of that too. Yeah, in a sense, I am kind of making a character sheet. It's a proof of concept. Well, I wouldn't say proof of concept, but it's just more of like a concept sheet, if anything. But I also kind of implore everybody else to kind of, if they have much better ideas to execute upon, then they could go about it any which way. Because I may just set this out into the wild and see how people kind of go about it. I may. If blocked. Okay, next is the hammer. Yeah, me and my my heavy ass mechanical MSI keyboard. It's something, but in turn, it makes me feel something. I don't want to do like send them flying because either way alright, you know, it'll be the same kind of block animation as like aiding fighting games where if they block a heavy attack, they just walk back a lot. They just walk back a considerable distance. So even if you block, you're still kind of fucked, especially if your back is against the wall. Yeah. Yeah, I guess push back would probably. Hey, Lion, appreciate the follow. Welcome to my method of madness. But it's not often I'm probably gonna be doing this unless if people actually do genuinely like these kind of streams anyway. But it's just an experimental. Well, it's just an experimental thing that I'm doing so far. I do want to write more. If I go to writing myself. Hey, nice, nice. I always need more writers on hand too. It's a very underappreciated form of streaming, I would so greatly admit. Especially if it's just like listening to the music and just watching people just type away on their heavy ass keyboards like me, or if they're pretty much more of the fancier kind, just have very creamy keyboards where they just kind of like tack 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 away. And yeah. Crucible hammer. Okay, yeah, the hammer does make sense. Realistically, you should be able to just use one or the other, but not both. It would be kind of stupid to just chain them together, especially if you have a super shotgun that could probably just wall bounce anyway. So okay, let's look back. Okay, we've done super shotgun, we've done the equipment launcher, we've done Yep, super shotgun, equipment launcher. Crucible weapons. Next, I feel should be its own section, so okay, so it would make the most sense for the glory attacks being hit grabs. Think about it. Every time you use glory kills, you always kind of confirm into it. You punch into it, or you just, if you're close enough, you grab them. It'll probably follow the same kind of principle as like King of Fighters, or maybe what's another game that utilizes hit grabs to a certain degree like that? Maybe I think Under Night does that too. Glory attacks and hit grabs, unlimited payoff. And glory attacks and hit grabs. Glory attacks, I hit grabs, then make them easy to end combos with a reward, granting access to resources like crucible weapons, blood punch, health regen, and armor regen if the opponent's on fire. Actually, command grabs, because it will still kind of fit the bill for being a hit and a regular grab too. If one is close enough. One is close enough and it'll function like a normal command grab, a higher return. Okay, will be exemplified by the difference in animations and design cues, i.e. And these girls can be used in combos or neutral. In different returns, this will make them easier to end combos with a reward, granting access to resources like crucible weapons, blood punch, health regen. Almost Thanksgiving? Yeah. I can already think about the spread of food, too. That's a good question, though. What is the usual spread for everybody around here for Thanksgiving? I know, like, some people have fish instead of turkey in some cases, but, what's the other stuff besides the turkey that is, like, the main draw for everybody here? Turkey and baked mac and cheese. Ooh, boy. Even do gajita sometimes, for sure cornbread and mashed cheese, and mashed potatoes with cheese, ham too. Oh God, please, please, please. We don't want to suffer. We don't want to suffer the journey to Thanksgiving. Okay. We want to be able to survive to Thanksgiving so we can actually enjoy the food, not envision what might be happening if we're too hungry. That's how an apocalypse starts. Someone gets a little bit too hungry, they bite somebody, and everything else just goes all to hell in a handbasket. So it's a bit of a tough sell to make sure that you don't bite anybody in the process in thinking about Thanksgiving food. A small region for health and armor. Okay, yeah. If one is close enough, it will function like a normal command grab. I return to the proximity with some favor the different animations and design cues. Guys, mac and cheese casserole is to die for. Well, you do have plenty of people that are going to be in your polycule that's going to be enjoying that if they do come around for Thanksgiving dinner. And we'll see who's going to fight to the death in order to get that mac and cheese casserole. I'm placing bets on someone. Oh, the YouTube stream is actually working this time around. Yay. I'm pretty sure it's just a whole lot of stuff missed out by the YouTube bros. So, I'm sorry, it's just Restream being cheeks. Complete and utter cheeks. Okay, so we got the glory kills pretty much knocked out. Let's also put on the chainsaw too. Okay, so making that in super is actually a smart idea. when it comes down to doing maybe the rocket launcher. Hmm. Now let's try to work this out next. Other weapons. Better compartmentalize weapons. To use some moves, we're using their Better compartmentalize weapons to use a session moves, we're using the second fire. To better compartmentalize the weapons to usable special moves, we'll be using the secondary fire. Hmm. I thought I had something going, but now I'm kind of stuck because there's so much limitless potential you can kind of go around with this. I could just probably just leave it as open-ended and just call it a night from there, but now something about me is just gonna be a guilty conscience. And what must he scream about exactly? Seiko. You have a mouth. You can scream. So let me still check a little something too. You know, I think I found my. Yeah, I think I found my solution. Will died in Minecraft and lost Mike's beating stick. Oh no. Like how far of a journey did you actually have to travel? Or how far did Will travel to, or better yet, where did he die? You died near lava. How to? Oh, yeah, it's gone. It's all gone. As soon as you said lava, that's just it. That's done deal. GG, no replay. Okay, yeah, so since I finally found a way out, keep blast and microwave beam. You sell your trident. Yeah, tridents, I guess, is a bit more valuable considering it's a very rare drop too. So, yeah, you better not lose that one too. You don't want to lose that one. That could be soul crushing. Absolutely soul crushing to lose such a thing like that. All those undeeps you have to kill again and again and again and again. Full auto heat blast. Precision bolt into Jump onto Arbalest. And mobile turret. Comboing into full auto into Heat Blast, Precision Ball into Arbalest, mobile turret into what? What would be a... No. I'm thinking the other way around. Something that leads into mobile... No. But then again, Energy Shield just makes a little bit more sense when it's on ground because you can just cover horizontal. Full auto into heat blast. Precision bolts into arbalest. You know what? No. I could just leave it at that. Yeah, I could just leave it at just that. Because it's kind of hard to just really throw in something for the mobile turret without having maybe the rocket launcher thrown into the mix. But if you're in the air, it's just not going to be feasible. It's just not going to be that feasible. Into microwave beam. Light. Ballistic missiles into lock on. Three volley. And I guess into So I can't exactly leave mobile turret alone then. It has to be done. It has to be. So I got full auto, then heat blast, precision bolt, and arbalest. Hmm. The only problem is that remote detonator just doesn't seem to work well with mobile turret. But it does present some opportunities for very fucked up situations too. Yeah, Doomguy would realistically be a very technical yet a very technical yet very dangerous character with a whole lot of ranged tools at his disposal. Is most notable is more notable at best. True. That's true. The one thing I do want to kind of hammer in home is the fact that he has access to this much. Arbiter killed. Now, Arbiter might be a bit of an interesting case too, considering that his only weapons that he's used so far were like an energy sword and maybe a plasma rifle. And plasma grenades, of course. That's staple. But one thing I want to make for like Doomguy is just emphasizing so much on like the arsenal that he has at his disposal. Hence why they decided to like compartmentalize it into like the mods, and that's why I kind of separated to the air only and the ground only stuff too. Because trying to do both on air and ground is not going to really help the situation. Like I could probably plan it out similar to like Chris Redfield in MVC3, where he has like different variations of his weapons. Though Chris does use most of the stuff anyway, both air and ground, so I guess that doesn't make sense. And the thing is, Doomguy's notable weapons are pretty much this. They are not only the super shotgun. Well, the only thing is I made the super shotgun pretty much his natural kit, but everything else is just right there. Hmm. Okay, so you got a whole bunch of this. Now I could probably get to the supers. As established before. Right, almost forgot that too. Let's throw in the blood punch stuff too before we miss out on that. Special number only available after. Only available. What's available? You can. Because I don't want to make it unblockable. That's the main thing. But I still want the reward to be worth it. I do want to make it worth it after landing 2 of those, or at least 1 of those if you're up close. Honestly, I think it makes a bit more sense for it to be unblockable anyway. I feel like that makes sense. For unblockable moves, you want to have something that just absolutely punishes you if you just miss. As far as maybe level 2. Full heavy volley, that probably works a lot more considering. Chain gun to just send someone in the air and turn him into a clay pigeon with the ballista with the arbalest. Fire away with the lockdown volley and then pull him right back to you with a point blank super shotgun shot. Yeah, that sounds like a pretty decent Ranbu, if anything. And for the last one, we can't forget about the headliner. off the ground. And it only makes sense that it's air only. And the level 3 being like unskilled damage anyway, I guess it should be a threat. So far, it seems like I have something. But as far as it being cohesive, it does probably want a bit more extra time. And right now, I'm not really... I kind of underestimated how much thought actually goes into just making guest characters, too. It gives me a bit more appreciation for those that can actually do just that and still kind of keep the spirit in line with what's available. I don't even want to get into like the whole input methods too, because that's its own kind of can of worms. But this is what I can muster up in the dead of night. But I did my best. But I'll also set this out into the wild for everybody else to kind of like have fun with and just see where they can go with it. I'm pretty sure someone could do a much better job than I can. It was worth the experiment. It was worth the experiment for sure. Will I try this thing again? You bet your sweet ass I will. I will keep trying. I'll just probably do things a bit earlier so I don't kind of gas out on the final stretch. Plus I probably need some music in order to just really get into the creative process a little bit better. But I digress. It's late. And I probably want to catch up on Arcane too, so we'll see what happens. But that's all for tonight. Thanks everybody for stopping by. Hope you had a wonderful time in watching, lurking, and all that good stuff. And I'm out here. Peace.